Hello.
Okay. Hey.
Welcome to.
Sorry, guys, if my internet is messing up tonight. So I apologize. My only option would be to restart my computer, which would end our stream. So hopefully it's not too bad and you can see me okay. So how's everyone doing tonight? Let us know when you get on.
Yeah, let us know if you're here. I think we're exhausted, Sarah and I. We all the schooling, ready for the summer. Some kind of break. I need a vacation. I'm just gonna be honest. I need a trip to the beach and some margaritas.
Ditto.
And warm weather. Warm weather.
Yeah.
This rainy cold.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Our backyard is like a moat right now. I could probably put a tube out there and do a lazy river around my backyard. But
yeah, us too. Well, we got that creek in the backyard. When it rains, it fills up, and it's probably about to overflow right now. It's been raining all day.
Yep.
Crazy.
Well, if you see me in your backyard with a tube, Sarah, I'm just taking a little mini vacay.
I hear
you. Yeah. Our neighbor has rerouted his gutter system so that it feeds into our yard. But his is, dry as a desert, but not ours. Anybody here?
I am. No.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
Well, ladies.
Doesn't look like it.
We are going to talk about this for a minute. When he comes on, we have got a big announcement to make. We are going to have a video to upload tomorrow. You guys must watch it to get the exciting news regarding SAS. And I think it's going to be a good, positive thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
make sure you watch. It's important info. Requires action on your part.
Absolutely.
It'll be a short video, so just take a second and find out what's going on with us and where we're headed from here. We've got exciting things going on. So
big happenings over at SAS.
Yep. So excited.
Oh,
it's gonna be good. So
well, Sarah, you know what? We can go ahead and start this conversation by ourselves, and when people jump on, they can let us know that they're here.
Yep.
And I'll have my husband kind of check and make sure if somebody jumps on, he lets me know.
Yeah.
So let's see here. My first question of the night was, have you ever been on a blind date?
How you like my date down there? I said, got a capital E.
No.
Look, a date. Let me fix that. Sorry. Have you ever been on a blind date?
A blind date.
What do you consider a blind date?
Well, if you want my story, I'll tell you. I consider a blind date not knowing what you're getting into. Like, probably never seen a picture of them before. Or maybe you've seen a picture, but you've never actually talked to them. You know, you're going in blindly. Like, you really don't know anything about this person, that kind of thing.
Okay. I have never been on a blind date like that. Now, I have met people and talked to them over the phone. Usually seen a picture of them, you know, of some sort before going out, you know. But I'm not even a big fan of that. I did much better with people that I knew before we started dating. But
yeah, well, back in the day, before the internet, before we had dating sites, there was the phone line. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the dating phone line. Okay. So essentially what you would do is you would call into this phone line. I would say I'm 5'1", brown hair, green eyes, average weight. I mean, I could say whatever I wanted to. It was kind of like the internet, but on the phone. I mean, like, that's pretty broad, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, you really still don't know what to expect. Well, this one guy was like, I've got brown hair, brown eyes. And then in his bio, he's like, and I look like Sylvester Stallone. Now, I'm not one of those that are like, I think Sylvester Stallone's really good looking at all. So I really didn't have high expectations at that point anyway. But I thought, well, Sylvester Stallone, at least we could have, something to talk about. Let me just tell you, nowhere near Sylvester Stallone, okay?
That's hilarious.
He looked like he had corncob teeth. Oh, what I mean, like yellow corncob teeth, like he bit in and they stuck to his teeth, and oh God. Well, I ended up ending that night real shortly. Like I was like, I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna go to the house. Can we watch a movie or something? So we get to the house, and then he keeps, that uncomfortable when they start inching closer to you, and you really
right.
forward to. They kept inching closer, and I'm like, literally on top of me at this point because I'm like, I'm at the end of the couch. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I got out of that, and then about a month later, I ran into him again out in public, and he didn't have his teeth in.
Oh my God.
Not a one. So needless to say, I did not do that again. Sylvester Stallone. Wasn't there Rambo there, baby?
Oh boy.
Nope. Sure was not. Is anybody on yet? Come on, girls. What you doing? We know you ain't cleaning the house. Are you taking a bath?
Says we got 5 people. Come on, let us know you're here.
Yeah, let us know. We're we don't like talking. We like to talk to you guys. So we like to find out how your week has gone and ask you crazy questions so we can get to know you better. And you can get to know us better. Anybody have a blind date? Go wrong, horribly wrong, or just a horrible date? How about that? Just a horrible date. Well, I had another one. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I had another one where my cousin arrested my date prior to us meeting. Yeah.
Wow.
Arrested him.
That's a good sign.
My cousin.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. The week before I met Norm, actually. It was the week before I met Norm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I always say either it was God's timing or I don't know if it was because I was supposed to meet Norm the next week or if it was because I was avoiding, being a victim of, a serial murderer or something.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I've had some really bad dates. Don't get me wrong. I went in knowing what I was getting into, but I still like, oh, Lord. And I'm what they call a ride or die chick. Like once I start going out with you, like I keep saying to myself, this, I got to give him a chance and all this crap. And next thing you know, I'm years into a relationship that was bombed from the start. But anyway, my husband is amazing and I'm super grateful.
That's awesome. Did you see that meme where it's like, it's got a bunch of red flags and it was like, it's instead of 12 roses, it's 12 red flags. And it's like,
that's me.
Oh, God. Oh man. I don't know how I ended up with Norm. I really don't. I think it was just, I don't even know, like a divine intervention. Cause I was a horrible judgment of character. Judgment of character dating. Oh.
That's where, part of my personality is always believing the best about people, and I'm super positive, and where everybody else sees the worst, I always see the best kind of thing. And that seems like a great quality to have, but when it comes to dating, it was not a good quality. Like I needed to open my eyes wide.
And you ignore the big red flag. Like my ex-husband, first red flag, got a DUI like 2 days after we met. All right, red flag. Oh no, everybody makes mistakes, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
First time I caught him smoking crack. Oh well, everybody has a past. Everybody slips up from time to time. First time he hit me, oh, we just got mad. He promised me he wouldn't do it again, right? So
Right.
it's that same pattern,
Right.
Sarah. It's that same
I
pattern.
heard the same thing.
Divine intervention that Norm
Yep.
came up
Yep.
because God only knows where I would have ended up.
Right.
With
same thing with me and
Ted
David.
Bundy
I'm
or
so
somebody.
Right. So the conclusion is we do not recommend blind dating.
No. We don't recommend it.
Not a good choice. Just date people
But stranger danger, okay? Stranger danger.
Yeah, stranger danger, absolutely.
And I think that ties into our whole message too, Sarah, is that loving ourselves,
right.
Respecting ourselves.
Absolutely.
Things we've had to learn, unfortunately, through those crazy incidents, because I can't even tell you how many, there's so many bad words I could use right here. I can't even tell you how many bad men I dated because I didn't love myself or I didn't respect myself enough to say, I deserve better than that. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to wear shoes on our date? Like, who shows up at my house with no shoes on for a first date?
Right.
Red flag. I mean, so yeah.
Right. Realizing that you deserve better than that and everything. And, I went through a period where I didn't date anybody before I met David. And during that time, I got to that point, or at least headed down that path toward recognizing that I didn't need a man and that I determined that I was going to, do better for myself. And I was going to make a good life for me and my children. And I think that is what attracted him to me, is that I was confident enough in myself that I didn't need, I wasn't needy. I was going to take care of things, and I had a plan and how I was going to do it. And that became more attractive to him. And so I actually attracted a good one, but I had to get me together first.
Yeah. You can ask Norm. I don't think I had it together when we met. In fact, I didn't. Like, a lot of baggage. In fact, the one thing I knew I wasn't going to do is date someone that tried to tell me what to do. That wasn't happening again. Ever, ever, ever again. That was the one rule that I laid down, was like, listen, I will love and respect you, but don't try to tell me what to do, because I will buck you. But here's the baggage you're going to have to deal with. My insecurities, my jealousies. We've worked through a lot of things, and that's gotten a lot better. I mean, it's taken a lot of work, but he had the patience to be able to help me through that process.
Yeah.
So I wasn't quite there yet when we met, but.
Well, I was still dealing with some stuff too, and I think I shared about this in my 2-minute Topic Tuesday video on breaking the stigma. Check that out if you're watching. But the fact that, he recognized some of the things I was still going through as a result of some of the painful things I'd been through in my past. And he just really encouraged me to go talk to somebody, go get some counseling. And I really didn't want to do it. And I fought him on it tooth and nail, really. We fought about it several times. And, finally, he just expressed to me, hey, there is nothing wrong with getting some help. And I finally did, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm really grateful for that. Hey, Shannon.
Shannon.
Thanks for joining us. How are you?
You want to get on with us? You're more than welcome to.
I will send you a link right now, if I can find it.
We'd love to hear about your, like, if you've been on a blind date or a worst date, we'd love to hear your story. I used to think, Sarah, I had a big loser, like, L stamped on my forehead.
I've said the same thing.
First out there, like, felon, okay, I got you. Don't own anything? Great. Work 3 hours a year? Perfect. I'll support you. I mean, it was just like, come to me, all ye that suffer and are heavy laden. I will give you
right.
And I didn't even have it together. So how was I going to fix them? It was kind of like, what is that? What is that with women that we do that when we try to fix people? What is that?
And I don't know, but I did it too.
And it's mostly with the opposite sex when you're dating or whatever.
Hey, I met Shannon through my ex, so that's the one good thing that came. That and my children.
Positivity.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're sick, Shannon. I hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah.
Love you, girl.
At home, huh? Not leave. South Carolina's starting to open up. North Carolina's getting ready to start opening up a little bit this week.
Yeah.
So glimmers of hope. Glimmers of hope. How little small they may be, I'll take it.
She said, yeah, she's still staying home. I imagine
I'll take
so.
a glimmer of hope. At least a little bit of signs of life. Oh no, it's not stomach. Oh, that's the worst. The worst. Let's see here. Next question we have. If you could do something illegal and get away with it, what would it be?
That's a pretty easy one for me.
Is that felony or misdemeanor? Because that's a toss-up.
I'm going definitely felony here.
Okay, felony.
Definitely a felony here. Somebody I'd like to do away with. That's terrible. But if I could get away with it, I probably would. No. Honestly, I've grown to a point where I'm not sure I still feel that same way. I mean.
But don't put you in a back alley with them. Just
right. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't do that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've definitely had the thought. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely had the thought on numerous occasions. But I think sometimes you have to really think through the consequences of your actions. I mean, even if you could do something illegal and get away with it, there still could be consequences from that action, even if you didn't get in trouble with the law, I think. So
I actually think the judge would thank me and give me a pat on the back and say, good job. Yeah. Honestly.
I hear you. I got to get hang on one second. Sorry, I don't want my computer to die while we're doing this.
Have you ever seen the music video for Carrie Underwood's Two Black Cadillacs?
Yes.
Yeah, where the two women meet, they don't know each other, but the man has been having an affair, and they run him over in the alley together. Perfection. That is the ultimate like revenge. Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking along the same lines. Now, on a more innocent, if there is such a thing as innocent felony, it wouldn't be murder per se, but it would be like I am addicted to, and I can't afford it, the Buckle Store. Have you ever seen it? The Buckle Store. No. It's got like a rock revival.
Cheryl.
It's got all these expensive name brand stuff. Like if I could go in there and rob that place blind right now, I'd have me like 500 Coral boots. I'd have me like every rock revival jean there is, and I'd be smoking.
See, I'd go straight for a bank. I'd go straight for a bank because then you could buy everything.
True statement. Much smarter than me. Oh, I'm telling you. Cheryl, tell Neil happy birthday. Do you want me to sing it?
Happy birthday.
Nora's like, oh God.
Please do, Sharon.
Happy birthday.
Oh no. How are you doing, Cheryl? If you could do something illegal and get away with it, what would you do?
It could be a misdemeanor, but we went full on felony. So class D, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm doing the 25 to life to death penalty. I mean, if I'm going to do away with it, but wouldn't that be fun? Then that kind of reminds me of that show, The Purge. You know, where they have like 24-hour or 12 hours where they can get away with whatever, and they say it keeps the crime rate down because they can do all this evil within that 12-hour period. But that would be very scary now.
Hey, Jackson. How are you? Robert Teller.
Robert
See, she's thinking along the same lines as me. I would definitely.
See, you guys are thinking bigger picture here. I'm just thinking like, take me to the buckle store. See, I need to hang with you girls. We could be like that movie, Set It Off. Oh yeah. Or Good Girls. Is that the series where they rob stores? That'd be great.
Hey, Jackson, thanks for joining us. We are talking about if you could do something illegal and get away with it, what would you do?
Yep. We've already talked about murder, so anything's open here at this point.
We didn't share names or anything.
No.
Just
we're not on the dark web, so we're good.
Okay, you want to go to the next question?
Yeah, let's go to the next question. We may be drawing a little attention by the law enforcement right now. Let's see. Who is your favorite comedian? Girl and boy, or both, or whatever.
I like Joe Coy and Bill Burr and what's the other guy? Can't remember his name. He just got in some trouble, but he just put out he got in that some trouble for one of those Me Too things.
I don't know.
But he's a great comedian though. He was out of the scene for a couple of years. What was his name?
Oh no.
Shoot. If anybody remembers it, let me know.
Have y'all I can't think of the guy's name. The one that does Southern Mama videos. I love him.
Oh yeah.
I love Southern Mama. And I don't know what his name is. Darren something. I love him as far as like a new comedian. Now, old comedian, John Candy and Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase, yes. Hands down. Like and all those guys from back then. Like that's what I grew up on.
Yeah. Are you talking about like from movies or stand-up? I was talking about stand-up.
Funny. It could be a stand-up or movie or somebody that just.
Yeah. My daughter even loves stand-up. She listens to him during the day while she's doing her chores. She listens to Jim Gaffigan because he's pretty clean. And there's another one. But.
Let me just say who you don't want to go see. Okay. Especially late at night. What was his name, babe? The one that drinks scotch. Ron White. Okay. Oh. If you do go see him, make sure it is the early show. Okay.
He was drunk by the late one.
He was hammered by 11:30. Okay. Like you listen where he is on the stage at 11:30. Like you're finishing his jokes for him.
That's hilarious. The Luke Bryan concert was that way. He got lit, and Luke Bryan. I went to the Luke Bryan concert. By the end of that concert, he was lit, and I didn't even know if he was going to be able to finish the concert. Yeah, it was crazy. He was inviting somebody to come up on stage with him and sing, and I love it. He was wasted. It was hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure he's going to be able to get this back together. He did. He finally pulled it back together. Yeah.
There was no coming back for Ron. Ron was done. That's funny. Yeah. Let's see. My favorite female comedian, the short guy, always hangs with the rock short guy. Cheryl, dang it. What's his name? I know who you're talking about. But I can't think of it. Female comedian, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, she's great. I love her too.
I just love the fact that she gives zero. You know what? She just says what she's gonna say. Kevin Hart, yes, he's hilarious. Yes. She says what she's gonna say. You know what? She has, and that's what I love about her. Out of all the stereotypes that Hollywood has placed on women and what we're supposed to look like, what size we're supposed to be, she has shattered all of those expectations and just went for it. You know,
I love it.
I know. I mean, it doesn't hurt that she's, related to, Melissa, Jenny McCarthy, but it's still, it's great that she shattered that fear
Right.
and expectation and just gone for her dream. And
Yep.
if I could be her, I would. I love her.
I love that.
And
love
yeah, so that those are mine. And then who was that? Well, there's some controversial ones, but I did love Robin Williams.
Oh, yes.
I loved Robin Williams.
Yeah, I did too. He's great.
Yep.
So
He had a lot of
anything he's in is good.
Yep. So next question, guys, is what's the most favorite city you've ever visited?
I went to the Keys, Florida Keys,
I've never been.
last year, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, amazing.
I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was beautiful. That's probably my favorite. I mean, we went to Disney, we went to Universal on 2 different occasions, but the time David and I went to the Keys, that was probably the most beautiful.
Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I visited. It's really, really nice. So,
Where have you guys been? My favorite, and I know this probably comes as no surprise,
Columbus or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles. I've been to Los Angeles once, and I literally was scared to death. And it wasn't because it was like it's beautiful. Like between what is that little area between there? You have. Sorry, guys, the dogs apparently have seen a squirrel or something. It's that little area between Los Angeles and
San Francisco.
I don't know, but it's like you've got the ocean on the left-hand side, and you have the
mountains.
Right.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So pretty.
Gorgeous. Yeah, that's where we went and traveled all up and down the coast of California on our honeymoon. We went and drove through. There's a drive-through tree, and we stayed at a amazing resort right on the water with the cliffs on one side and the water on the other. And we had a fire pit right outside our room. Yeah. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Man, I want to go right now.
So amazing.
But
I'll tell you one thing, my husband does the best trips.
That's awesome. Well, do not go downtown Los Angeles at night if you don't know where you're going. Bad move. Okay.
Now that's how I felt about Miami.
Oh, it was scary. Very scary.
So Jackson, your parents went to California, the coast of California. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, from Seattle to California. Wow, that was nice, I bet.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is Las Vegas. The town, the city that never sleeps. There's just something about Vegas.
I've never been there.
So exciting. There's no
Never been to
clocks
Vegas.
on the wall, Sarah. When you go in there, there's no clocks anywhere. So you don't know what time it is. You can just
Wow.
music, eat buffets. Well, I don't know if they'll do buffets anymore, but food galore. Just it's so exciting. And you just feel like you're lost in time because they want you to lose track of time because they want you to spend money. But
yeah,
I love all the bright lights and the excitement. I think yeah. But I like relaxation too. So I'll take like
I love the beach.
The beach.
Anywhere where a beach is my absolute favorite.
I can do it all. I could go to Vegas and then go to, the West Coast. We can do it. Yep. Let's make it like an all-round girls trip. How about that?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Let's see. What is the hardest thing you have ever done? That's our next question, guys. What is the hardest thing you have ever done? And who is still on with us? Can you guys let us know who's still on with us? What is the hardest thing you have ever done, Sarah?
I know exactly what it is. I just don't know exactly how to say it on here. The hardest thing I've ever done was be separated from my children. I literally wanted to end my life. And so Jackson's still with us. We have a couple other people, it looks like, but I'm not sure who.
Just let us know in the comments, guys, who's still here so we can ask you guys questions, get to know you. You can get to know us. I know, Sarah, that's I can't imagine. Can't imagine.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But Jackson says cleaning out his grandparents' apartment.
There you go.
Was that after they passed? It's not an interrogation. We're just trying to have some fun and get some conversation going.
Conversation starters.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hardest thing I ever did. Well, there's different levels of hard for me. One of the hardest things I ever did was to leave my ex-husband. That was very extremely difficult because when you're an abuse victim, things that should be easy aren't easy because you're thinking of all the possible things that could go wrong or why you shouldn't.
Absolutely.
And you're so beat down, you don't feel like you can make a good decision anyway. So that was one of the hardest. 2 was recently I had to end a friendship. And like Sarah and I were talking earlier, I'm the kind of person that likes to believe the best in people. I want to salvage what I can at the expense of myself most of the time. I will put up with things from people. I will let people treat me badly just because I don't like confrontation and I don't want to hurt anybody, even if I'm getting hurt in the process. So one of the hardest things for me this year was to end a friendship and to cut her off and not look back. And I'm one of those type people that wants to fix things. So that's been hard. And then physically, the hardest thing I've ever done is to go through gastric sleeve surgery and give up food. I love food. I love a lot of food, but that was hard. So that's a fun topic, huh, Sarah? We picked a good one. That was a little Debbie Downer topic for you. We'll go to the next fun one. Let's see. The next fun one is, what animal or insect, if you could eradicate from this planet, what would it be? If you could
spiders
eradicate.
Spiders, and I know somebody's going to say that spiders are helpful. They eat other insects and all that kind of thing. I don't care. I mean, what is that, arachnophobia? I have it, like full-blown.
Is there one in particular that like scares you more than others?
Yeah, I was bitten by a brown recluse and had to be hospitalized. I have a scar on my shoulder where there was a huge hole, probably about this big, where it ate the skin. It was terrible. It hurt so bad. It was so painful.
Did you feel it or see it on you, or you got sick, or what happened?
Well, honestly, it looked like it was a pimple on my shoulder, but when I tried to get it, squeeze it, it's really gross, I know. But it shot the poison deeper into my skin, according to the doctor. But I did.
Being bitten, you don't remember seeing this big?
It was in my sleep. Oh, they're little tiny spiders.
Oh, they're not big.
They're little tiny spiders. It's when I was living in Florida, and I went to the emergency room, and they had to cut a hole around where they lanced it and cut all this dead skin out. And it was terrible.
No wonder you're scared of spiders. My Lord. I'm the same way with bees, okay, and wasps, okay. I got stung by a wasp when I sat, those little caterpillar things when we were little kids that we would ride around on. I sat down on a wasp and scared to death of them since. But they are attracted to me like flies on poop, okay. They love me.
David is allergic to bees.
Yeah. But talking about spiders, now I know this is weird, and I mean, of all the spiders, this is one you shouldn't be afraid of. But I tell you which one really creeps me out is those granddaddy long legs. I cannot.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Especially if like 1 or 2 of their legs are missing and they're like gimping around. Oh,
I had killed one for me today. She's not brave.
You see the leg like wiggling around over here because it's like just recently been detached. That is disgusting.
Did you know that they are the most poisonous spider of all of them? They just can't bite you because of their long legs.
And they're little itty bitty. They don't have any. Yeah, I did know that. I did actually. That's what makes them even creepier because I know what they're what they're thinking.
What the heck?
Okay, now what I would eradicate. Okay, and since we moved back down to South Carolina, let me just tell you, the biggest, nastiest bug ever are those palmetto like roach-looking bugs.
Yes. Oh
my word! I don't remember them from when we lived here. I do not.
They're awful. They're awful.
They've grown like in the last decade because I do not remember those being here when I lived here. But now they're everywhere.
I bet you mosquitoes are going to be terrible this year because it didn't get really cold this winter.
Mm.
And I'm not a big fan of them either. Anything that sucks your blood can just go away.
Bats. Well, bats kind of have a cute factor, I guess. Maybe it's cuter than a tarantula, I guess.
Jackson, you got it. Nail on the head. Murder hornets.
Oh my God! I swear there's one flying around our house. Like
they're not in South Carolina. You're crazy.
It looks like a pill.
Oh.
I'm telling you, thing is huge.
If it is, I'm not coming back to your house.
I don't like bugs, creepy crawlers. I don't like snakes. I'm not a big snake fan. I don't mind mice or like lizards and stuff.
I like lizards.
Yeah, lizards are cool. Iguanas are cool. I'm not a rat fan. I don't like big old rats.
No,
but
me either.
Mice are okay.
I don't like mice either.
They're kind of cute there, don't you think? Cute little.
No. No, they're not. I literally will jump onto the countertop if I see one, like, and stay there till somebody comes and does something or make sure it's gone. It's like a just instinct. Like, I know that mouse is more scared of me. I know that, but I can't help it. It's just like an instinct. As soon as I see one, I worked in a restaurant one time that had a problem and we were having to clean everything out. And the second that thing ran out from underneath the cabinet, I literally jumped up on the bar and I was like, nope, I'm not coming down.
No, I don't like you. I mean, I'm not scared of them. I don't like them because they're dirty, that kind of thing, but I'm not scared of them. But I would take a mouse any day over a granddaddy long leg, or what are those little millipede looking things that like, what do they call those? Little earwig things. They look like, oh God. They come up like in moist areas, like in the bathtub or like, oh God. And they like got like all like 100 little legs like everywhere.
Okay. I'm about done with this conversation.
Oh, that's true. Boy, I think some good ones tonight. Let's see.
Oh.
Next one is what? Hey, Judy, how are you? Let us know if you're here or not. Next question. Let's see. What benefit do you bring to the group when you are with friends? Why is it a benefit for you to even be there for your friends? I had to think about that one for a minute. What benefit?
Oh, you bring lots of great things to the table. I think for me, I'm a different kind of friend. Because I think that I'm not afraid to, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve kind of. I'm not afraid to tell you everything. Like, you want to know who I am, I'm going to tell you, and I think that ultimately that allows people to feel comfortable to be themselves. I have found that to be true, that people are more comfortable to be themselves because, when you meet somebody and you tell them within the first 30 minutes your life story, they're like, oh, okay. I'll tell you about me too. And I tend to do that. I'm like, because what I have been through is what makes me me. And if you're going to love me, then you're going to need to know what makes me who I am. And the things that I've walked through is what's, it's why I am who I am.
Do you feel, Sarah, because I'm kind of the same way, do you feel like you have to kind of, like there's something inside you that wants acceptance and you're afraid if you don't tell them up front and they find out later that they won't want to have anything to do with you? Is that why you think you throw it out there? Because I think that's why I do. I throw it out there because I'm like, rather than get hurt later on, and then find out about what I've done in the future, I'm going to just throw it out there now. And if they like me, they like me. If they love me, they love me. If they don't, they don't. At least I know that that's somebody I don't want to invest my time in, because if they can't get past my past, and it's not really that I can't get past my past, but some people can't get past your past, and so I think that's why I do it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it may have something to do with it. I mean, I've done the wait. I've done that, especially with certain church friends or whatever. I have given it time for them to get to know me, and that, and my character and who I am before but I think the reason I don't like to do that is because I think vulnerability breeds vulnerability. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like, the more vulnerable I am with you, the more likely you are to be vulnerable with me. And I'm allergic to fake. I just really desire um, genuineness in a relationship. I've been hurt by people who pretended to be something that they were not.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that opening up and sharing my life with people is um, an attempt to be vulnerable so that others can feel the same way,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to reach that level in friendship that I don't think can be reached until you're real.
Right.
Does that make sense? That's pretty deep, but I've
Absolutely.
written I've written some about that in my blogs. But yeah, I think that's at the heart of why I share stuff so quickly. Jackson says he has a dry sense of humor. I love to be around people who make me laugh. That's
Yes.
great.
Humor is my.
Sharon's got a great sense of humor. I love
I think with me, I'm kind of like, so people feel comfortable around me. I didn't used to think of myself as an extrovert because I get a lot of social anxiety when it's like I'm meeting new people, or when I'm in big crowds. If I'm around my people, or I feel a lot more comfortable to be myself, and I can let my guard down and really let my personality shine. I think as I've gotten older, that I've become more of an extrovert. I do love talking to people. I love meeting new people. But I think that I've used humor throughout my life to kind of mask different insecurities. And I know what it feels like to feel awkward and to feel like people are staring at me. So before I become the topic of conversation and, oh gosh, she's awkward, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm awkward. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how awkward I can be. So, and I use that humor to go ahead and put myself out there before. And I think that makes people feel comfortable to where they're like, okay, well, this girl can act like a complete buffoon. Then it's okay for me to too. Let's do this thing. Now, one of the things, the girls that I was just telling you guys about that I kind of broke off the friendship from earlier. One of the things that should have been a red flag to me about the friendship with her is when you say benefit to the group of people or to your friends. One of the benefits is that I am open, I am vulnerable, and I am honest, and I do draw people in. For some reason, I can go somewhere, and by the end of the night, I know everybody, or I've made a couple of best friends. She hated that about me. Absolutely hated that about me. We would get done going out somewhere and she would be like, well, why do you have to always talk to these losers? Why do you have to talk to everybody that comes up to you? You don't have, no, but not everybody deserves your story, which is true. That part is true. Not everybody deserves your story, but she absolutely hated that. So here I was friends with somebody that didn't love the one quality that I think draws me to people. So I don't know. That's why it's important that we choose our friends carefully. The ones that can, what's the word I'm looking for here? That can nurture your best qualities, and allow you to be you and use your best qualities. And most of the time, if you allow others to do that, it's going to mesh really well. You're going to work much better together, and friendships can grow that way. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. But the second they start telling you and friends talking about friendship, the second that they start making you feel bad about the qualities that you feel like are good, then it's time to, cut the ties on that. But yep.
But let me ask you a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to throw one out here. What do you think about? How do you feel about working through? Like, every friend you have is not going to be just like you, and you're going to be on the same page with. I'm not even on the same page with everything with my husband. But I find that true growth and depth in friendship sometimes comes through working through the hard things and being willing to say, okay, just talk them out. I have found I have to learn the right way to do that sometimes. But I've found that sometimes the hardest things are the things where we grow the most and we become closest. Hey, Tim. Great to see you.
How are you? Working through the hard things.
Yeah. When is it time to cut the cord? You know what I'm saying? When is it time to say enough's enough? I'm done. I got to walk away from this. It's not healthy. And when is it worth working through so that you can grow, learn more about each other, and learn, So I think you have to be willing to accept other people's differences, and sometimes you have to understand where they come from and all that kind of thing.
In my circumstance with my friend that I cut, I just saw little signs that kept making me feel bad about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I kept feeling like I had to walk on eggshells. Mm-hmm. We kept having the same conversation over and over and over again. And the final straw. Well, the thing is too, she would brag about the fact that she did not have empathy. Okay. Now that, Sarah, is a number one sticking point with me. When someone is proud of the fact that they have no empathy, and then continues to belittle the things that I'm going through. And okay, so let's say we have a disagreement and I tell you, I am struggling with depression or my job situation is bad. You would say, I'm so sorry, Sharon. Can we talk about this later? Or when you're feeling better, we'll talk about it. I want to hear what you have to say. Right.
Right.
With her, it was, well, you're nothing but a crybaby. I mean, she was talking behind my back to other friends, telling them what a crybaby I was. It was.
Yeah, that's not a friend. That's not a friend. I mean, there's no question about that. That's not, and we've talked about the situation, and you're absolutely right in that. I think that the reason I brought it up is I have been guilty in the past of not being willing to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? I get a sign. I guess it's because I've been hurt that I get a red flag and I'm like, yeah, this is not it. This is not what I'm looking for. And It's not like it's a harsh ending to a friendship or a fight or anything like that. It's just, we just sort of stop talking to one another and that kind of thing. And so I have felt like in the past that I realized, hey, maybe you didn't work hard enough at getting through that issue, because then maybe you could have still had that friendship. Sometimes you need to cut the cord and walk away if there's repetitive behavior that is harmful. I'm not saying not to that, but I'm also saying that friendships don't happen overnight.
No.
You have to put some work into them and, be willing to talk through the hard stuff and,
I think learning each other's love language too. And I know that a lot of people make fun of that whole love language thing, but I think it's true. Like what may work for you may not work for me and vice versa. And in any relationship, even in your marriage or, whatever, for the longest time, well, I'll give you an example. My sister is the type of person that will go over to my mom's house, wash her, clean her house. Her love language is to show her, that way. And then my mom's love language is in return is get, for her to do those things. Mine is affirmation. I want to know that you love me, you care about me, that I'm important to you. You don't have to tell me 24/7. Just, let me know, hey, you're funny. I love you. That's enough. Quality time is, some people's, what's the other ones?
Quality time, gifts, service, affirmation. I have a quiz. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, maybe we should.
If anybody ever wants the link to that, just message me on Messenger and I'll be glad to send it to you. It's great. I actually also have a quiz for children. And it is amazing to understand what your child's love language is. Because guess what? They don't all have the same love language.
Yeah.
Your kids can all have a different love language. And understanding them will help you understand why they have, as siblings, they argue sometimes, or, why that they feel a certain way. I know Hope's, one of her love languages is quality time. And I had to recognize the fact that so many times she wanted to come and show me something she was doing or talk to me about something she was doing. And I'd be like, baby, I don't have time right now. And I didn't realize how that came across to her as, you don't love me enough to spend this time with me. And once I realized, oh, that's why she does that all the time, because that's what makes her feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a really great thing. If anybody ever wants to get the link to that quiz, it's really great. I'll be glad to send it to you. I'll have to hunt for it, but I do have it.
Yeah, I think that's the basis for any kind of good relationship. I mean, and then also too is like, with the situation with me, is to stop before things are said that can't be taken back, because I'm not good with forgiveness when it comes to like, okay, so I'll give you an example. This girl called me like the worst name in the book. Okay, only my ex-husband and this girl has ever called me this particular word. It starts with a W. Okay, so once she said that, like, there was no going back. Because the words were already spoken. She obviously felt this way about me as a person, as a human being. And there's difference between toxic friends and then working through issues. You know what I mean? Because you're never going to get along 100% all the time with somebody. I mean, you're going to have.
Well, one of the examples is the disagreement. You and I had a disagreement, and I'm going to point out what I did wrong. But we had a disagreement. And the thing was, if we hadn't talked about it, I don't think that we would have really ended up with hurt feelings. Mm-hmm. And by talking about it, I was able to realize that, I create this dialogue in my head when nothing's said, If something's not said, then I think, oh, this person thinks da 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 da. I have this whole long dialogue that you don't like me, or you don't like what I'm doing, or you don't like, And the fact is that you never thought that stuff to begin with. Never. And the fact that and the fact that we talked about it helped me understand, okay, that's not how she feels. That's me with this dialogue in my head that nobody likes me, But had we cut and run because we had a disagreement, then we never would have come to the understanding that, oh, she's not thinking that. And, this is something that you're just assuming she's thinking. Right. And I was able to say, hey, I would really love feedback a little more often, because a lot of times when I don't hear it, I don't know what you think. And so that's what makes me think that. So those kind of things is where it's difficult. Sometimes you have to walk through stuff in order to get to a better place. Mm-hmm. And so that's the work I'm talking about, not putting up with people being unkind. And
and I think too, what we've talked about before, Sarah, is that friendship, and I felt like we talked about dating earlier in this video, how that's so hard. But as I've gotten older, I think that, okay, so when we made friends when we were 20, 25, Sarah, it was going out. We were going to party, drinking, all of those things. And that was fine. That was fine for that time in our life where we just wanted somebody to go and hang out with and, have party with and things like that. Right. But I think as you get older and as you've been through more experiences and you get tainted along the way,
right.
By the time you hit, let's say 35 to 40 and older, you really are longing for more of a deep personal friendship. Someone that you can call hours of the night, that your house doesn't have to be clean when they come over. Right. You can have a mouse run across your floor and they're not going to judge you for it, or step on a dead mouse's head. Well, if you yell at your kids in front of them, they're not going to shame you because, oh God, you're a horrible mom because you just lost it with your children. I think we're looking for acceptance and we're looking for a deeper connection. And I think that's what keeps us at this age, particularly this age, from really forming those friendships, is because we have been hurt so much and we've seen the bad. I mean, I have never had to cut a toxic friend off. I mean, I have never had to actually say to someone, no more. Because like we were talking about earlier too, I wasn't at a place where I felt like I felt good enough about myself to do it. And as we grow, we learn to. But I think that there's a definite difference between working through issues like you're talking about, Sarah, where we're learning each other and we're figuring out each other and different things that we deal with. Like I was telling you, that it's not that I'm not trying to respond to you. It's just I'm having a bout with depression right now.
Right.
And I'm struggling to even make it off the couch, let alone try to do everything else. And it wasn't that and then I learned from that conversation that, hey, Sarah likes affirmation too. So I need to let her know more, and I've probably done a crappy job this week of that.
No. No, I just thought this was a good conversation because I think that a lot of us want deep friendships, but aren't willing to do the work for deep friendships. Because I think that a lot of times it takes a willingness to work through stuff and not, oh, this is getting hard, so I'm going to quit, And so I think that it's something worth talking about. I also think that there are, just to put it out there, but there are seasonal friends in your life. There will be lifetime friends, and there are going to be people who are going to come and go. You may be really close with at one point, and then you never talk to them again. Yep. I mean, and that's okay. That's okay. But I think being able to recognize that and say, okay, I'm good with that. We're at a different place in our friendship right now than we once were. We used to be really, really close, but their life has changed and my life has changed. And I'm okay with being, just first level friends or whatever you want to call it, but a recognition of the fact that happens sometimes. Lives change, you get married, you move, all that kind of stuff happens. And when it does, sometimes friendships grow apart. But that doesn't mean that it has to be, I think walking away because it's hard can often be a mistake and part of the reason why we don't have the relationships that we want to have. So anyway, just some thoughts.
Absolutely. And
thoughts.
One last deep thought too is that to me, friendship, like a true friend, is one that if we haven't spoken in a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year, 2 years, that we can pick up where we left off.
Right.
That we understand that each other has, their own stuff going on, and that there's no judgment there as to why. Well, I can't stand it. I cannot stand it when she used to do this to me all the time. Get mad at me if I didn't call her, or get mad at me if I didn't come over, or, and she would guilt me and make me feel so bad about it. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you an example. Halloween, 5:30, Sharon, can you get me a pack of cigarettes? I've got a 9-year-old and 11-year-old. I'm out trick-or-treating. It was just little inconsiderate things like that, but I was expected to drop everything. And as a friend, I will. Like, if you're in dire need and you need my help, I will drop whatever I can. But it's different, though. That was different. Or like I'm saying, like, just let people. God, I got lost in thought there, Sarah. See, that's. I don't know where I was going with that.
I think it's just being, respectful of your friendships and understanding. I mean, I give out a shout out to my friend Linda. I mean, we don't talk to each other like we used to, but when we get on the phone, we pick right back up where we left off. I mean, we've been friends for like 20 years, and our lives have changed a little bit, and we don't talk like we used to, but that doesn't mean that our relationship isn't the same as, it's just, we can't communicate like we used to or whatever, because we live further away. And,
I know where I was going with it because you just triggered something. It's doubt.
Mm-hmm.
True friendship, there is no doubt that they are going to be there.
Yeah.
Thick or thin, it's kind of like a marriage, thick or thin, for better or for worse. That's the way I look at friendship. When I felt like I had to doubt whether or not she wanted to be my friend or liked me even, let alone love me, that's when I knew it was time to I got to go. Because I should never have to doubt
Well, I hope you don't ever doubt that with me. I love you.
No, totally different feeling.
I know. I'm just saying.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we got on a heavy topic there towards the end, but I like it. I love talking about how friendship works and how we can better friendships, because that's what we're looking for is connection. And that's why we created this space, was for for us to become a sisterhood. Now, ladies, we've got to wrap it up tonight, but I did want to re-mention that tomorrow we have a video coming out with a big announcement. We're pretty excited about it. We hope you will be too, but you do need to watch this video all the way to the end, because you will have to do something to make sure that you stay with us. So anyway, Sarah, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. If you're watching this after the fact, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and share our videos. We've had some great ones come out lately. Take a second to watch some of them. We actually got an award, Sharon. I should send it to you, but for having posted 25 videos. We're actually past that now, but having put 25 videos, so we have that much good stuff out there for you to watch.
Yes.
So check it out.
Let's do our double chin tape. Come on, guys.
Right. All right, guys, we love you so much. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.